Alrighty guys, so we've been I gave him an extra hour to mess around with Big Red. I imagine they were done probably a while ago, but I had kind of lost track of time too. But I've also just decided I'd just give him an extra hour to put the new meat or the new donuts on Big Red. And now you're not going to really be able to see because now they're covered in snow because of the snow that's in my yard. But let's see here, there they are. Take my glove off here so I can adjust this damn screen because I can't see anything worth a shit. But yeah, those are the new donuts for Big Red. I'll put the link in the description to where you guys can buy them. I thought they put this was because I didn't realize. I guess I didn't really quite realize how they did it. I kind of thought for a second there that maybe they put these tires on backwards from how the lugs looked. But actually, if you pay attention, some of the lugs actually are backwards to begin with. I didn't really, notice that too well. So if you notice some lugs, they look backwards. Well, that's just because they are. That's just the way they were, designed. So, yeah, there's going to be lots of freaking meat on those babies for quite a while. And I still got my regular boots on. I should have switched over to my winter boots, but it is what it is. If I can get back here. They just seem to ride smoother. But it's hard for me to tell though because I think the gearbox, when it's cold, that doesn't work very well. That's just, I think it's just the way they are. Because when I took Big Red there, I just seen a dent in the tire, but I think that's just the imprint. Yeah, that's kind of just the imprint. He was kind of like, I don't know how to even word it, because he wasn't like skipping gears. It was kind of like hopping. My grandma's Pontiac did that. You could feel it like in the tires. It was hopping. Oh, there's my cat. Another one of my cats. What the hell is she doing out? That's interesting. But anyways, that's what it felt like in the rear end. But I always see, because I think once you get going, it kind of levels, it kind of quits doing that. So, I don't know if it was because maybe the old tires, they were getting old and that's what was causing hop, kinda. You think that you'd feel it in all fours, but the rear tires were the most shot. I could have probably gotten another year out of the front ones, but I decided if you're gonna do them all. Make them match so they look decent. And yeah. But on the way here, I didn't feel any hop at all. But I just thought maybe it could have been it warmed up a little bit. But I imagine it's been sitting outside for a while. So I imagine it was cold. It got cool. But the only thing I'm going to have to do, I don't know. I imagine they torqued these down pretty good, but I don't know. I imagine they could have looked it up online to see what the torque specs were on the rims. But I probably should double check that anyway, because once you loosen them and then you tighten them again, they tend to get loose again. That's just kind of how it works. So I probably should check them in a couple of days. Maybe after this, I probably should even check them now, but you got to have the weight off. So I'm not going to probably really worry about it too much as of right now. But the main thing I'm worried about is tire pressure. I don't know what they put in them, because I've always went off of Polaris' specs, which was right here. And this is for cold weather, for cold tire use. So I'm I always took it as wintertime, you know. Not saying that's correct or not, I don't know. I always just went off that little chart because if it's on the machine, it's probably more important than what's in the book. So I always put my tires at what they recommended on that sticker, and that's just kind of what I've always done, and I've had no issues with it. So, but to be honest with you guys, I just feel like maybe it's just me. Stand back a minute. To me, it just feels like Big Red's taller now. Now, he is taller because he's taller at least by, well, however deep the damn lugs are. So, I imagine they're, what, probably an inch deep, those lugs? I don't really know. I think I tape measured it one time, but I don't remember what it was. It was either half an inch or an inch or something like that. So Big Red is up a little taller now, which is a good thing it's good for, you know, obviously ground clearance. It might even be good for the snowplow, because the snowplow will sit a little different now. I'll probably still have to adjust my skid shoes. I still have to adjust them anyway because they're still not adjusted right. I still end up scalping into the grass. So, but that's a summertime project to adjust the skid shoes on the plow. But they are talking a big dumping of snow starting tonight. And it's just supposed to be wet and sloppy, so that would be a good test for these new rubbers. Yeah, they do look good though. I don't know what you guys think, but it's definitely looking more better. You know, I don't have to. I still have the old tires. I'm going to keep the old tires in case I do stab one of these and I need to put one of the used ones back on to get me by. I can do it, but yeah, I probably should actually buy a couple more of these tires and keep them for spares, but I don't really want to keep brand new tires around. So, but yeah, I'll be damned. It definitely, I got to put all my stuff back on too. I got to put my my plow back on. Got to put my rear weights back on. Got to put my shovel back on top. I took all that stuff off because I didn't want it to interfere with what they're doing, especially the plow and you know, the weights. I didn't want to drag all that crap with, and it just would have gotten in their way anyway. So I took it off. It was the only thing that's not really quick attach is the rear, the thing on the rear for the weights, the cargo rack. That's the only thing that's not quick attach, but it is good enough that, you know, a minute of your time and it'll be off because it's actually threaded on. Obviously the front plow is quick attach, so that comes right off, so it's no big deal. But yeah, just coming home on these tires, it was just such a smooth ride. I'm really surprised. So, because going there, Big Red was always kind of hopping, but he's always kind of done that. You know, the last few years he's always kind of done that. So I always just thought maybe it was just the rear end. It was warming up. And it was, it was cold, but coming home now, there was no hop. So I don't know. I really can't say yet until Big Red sits overnight, gets cold again, and see what happens. Now they did have him in a heated shop. That's probably the first time Big Red's ever been in a heated shop. So, yeah. But we'll see. I'm going to see how that rear end does again. I don't know. It might just be a Polaris thing. That just might be the way it is. But it didn't do it on the way home. Maybe they took him for a little test drive to see how the tires would do. I don't know. I don't really know if they do that kind of thing or not. They probably don't, but nah. They look good though. I wish I would have got new rims to go with that too. I think newer rims. I was looking at some. They're 14-inch rims, but I'm not sure if the rims are the same front and back because the front requires a smaller size tire than the rear. but the rims look like they're the same, but I don't know if they're the same, like thickness, you could say, so, because there's two different size tires. But I was looking at a set of, they're a black and red rim, they're still 14 inches, like these. I guess these are 14-inch rims, because I looked up online how to decide what size tires to get, because I always kind of just went off of whatever Big Red originally had. And these are the same size tires as what Big Red originally had, just, different brand, and they got more lugs and shit on them. So, same size and everything, just different brand and, tread design. So, because what I would have done is because the rims I were looking at, they were cheap. They were like $90. And they said that it would fit to this machine, but I'm confused on the rims. I get the 14-inch part, but it's that, there's two different size tires on here, so I don't really know how you would measure that, unless it's the same rim either way, no matter what. But I wasn't sure in what style, like what size rim these were, and I guess they say that you're supposed to go by the last number on the rims, or on the tire, I guess, if I remember correctly. So the last number on these tires is 14. Well, that's telling me that these are a 14-inch rim then. So, but I don't know. This summer I'll do a better video on, when they're not covered in dirt and snow. I don't really know what kind of air pressure they put in these things. I imagine they didn't. I imagine they put in quite a bit. There is a max rating on these tires, but you're not supposed to use that max rating. That's only to put your tires on. After that, you're supposed to drop the PSI back down. Can't really show the other side because there's a snow bank there. But like I said, I'll do a better video this summer when there's not all this crappy snow in the way. Plus it's windy out, and I imagine you guys can't hear me very well over the wind anyway. But yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And I don't know what they charged, because I know that the young guy said, not the young guy that farms our land, but there's a young kid that works, I think he's the son of the owner that owns the place. But I was talking to him, and he said that they would have to charge for doing this. He didn't say, but I just told him to throw it on my bill, so my bill's going to go back up again. But I don't know what they'll charge, because really, it's not like they had to buy the tires. I bought the tires. I'm just letting them swap them around. So they're probably just going to charge me for swapping the tires around. Compared to a car, I guess, it's different when you do an actual car. Because you can buy tires, obviously, from him, too, but you can't buy ATV tires because they don't sell that. As far as I know, they don't sell that, but I guess you get a discount, for car tire-wise, but and stuff like that. But for ATV tires, it's going to be a little bit of a different story, because I imagine, I don't know how they really explain it. It just depends on things. But so when all said and done, I don't really know what it's going to cost, what it costed to do this. I didn't really care. I just wanted it to be done. So I just told them to throw it on my bill, and I'll probably get a bill at the end of this month that'll tell me how much it costed to do this job. Maybe $100, I don't know, 150, I don't really know. So, but I'm not going to worry about it. I don't really worry about stuff like that. As long as they do their job and they do it right, which obviously from what I can tell right now, they did a pretty damn good job. I just need to double check the lugs and stuff, and check tire pressure, because I don't know what they put in them. I imagine they put in enough to support it, But there is a max rating on these tires, but you don't go by that. That's just to pop the tire on the bead, or get the bead onto the rim. From what the videos say online, anyway, I kind of watched a video about it, and they were explaining that max PSI thing. I always thought that was just the maximum amount of pressure the tire could take before it blows, but I don't know. They said that's just the pressure it needs to pop it on, get the bead popped on. Well, they got all the big fancy air tools and stuff, so I imagine this was a pretty easy job. They couldn't do it right away though, because they said that Big Red needs to sit inside for a little bit and warm up, because they didn't want to work. I guess they don't like working on things that are cold, which is understandable, because metal tends to be a little bit weaker when it's cold. So that's a good point there. You know, let it sit in for an hour or two. And plus, the young guy, I guess I should call him young kid, but he's not really a kid either. He said that he was busy doing another job, so he couldn't get to this right away, which was fine. I wasn't really in a big hurry for it. I just wanted it to be done before the snowstorm come, because it's supposed to come tonight, and I don't want to be without a machine. So, but I imagine, I don't know if it was just him that did it or if there was somebody else that helped him. I don't really know. I wasn't there. So, but yeah, if they were busy with something else, it's fine. I told them that I wasn't in a super giant hurry for it. It just had to be done by tonight so I could have it before the snowstorm come. So they said, well, it's not going to take us quite that long. So, and I figured, well, I'll give them just an extra hour, you know. I imagine they were done. They said to come back at 4 o'clock. Well, I didn't show up till about 5, so I gave them that extra hour. I imagine they were done at 4 anyway, but I didn't know for sure, and, you know, a little extra time don't hurt. I imagine they were pushing kind of hard anyway, but, yeah. So we'll see how they did here. We'll see how these tires hold up. They held up coming home, so I'm not too worried about it. Looks like they used the same valve stems, which is great news because I forgot to remove. I was kind of worried about that they may want to switch out the valve stems, because, you know, they go bad after a while, you know, because it's just what they do. But I had put on chrome caps for the valve stems. You originally get black. I still have the original ones. I just wanted something a little bit fancier, so I had bought a pressure gauge, a digital one, a few years ago, and it actually came with those digital, or those chromed caps. So I put the chrome caps on. I kind of forgot, you know, that, and if they want to switch them, they might throw my caps away, and they might put on, you know, theirs. But they didn't. They're still there. I kind of forgot about that. I was going to find my old ones and throw them back on there just in case, but I guess they didn't mess with the valve stems any. Maybe they saw my chrome ones and they probably knew that they were custom or something, you know, something that I liked. I don't know. I don't think they messed with them all. No, they're all still there, so that's good. I mean, if a valve stem's bad, it's bad. I mean, replace it. I'm not going to worry about it, but I just didn't want them to throw away my chrome caps. But they didn't. They're still there. I don't even know. Maybe they did place... Did they change out the valves? I doubt it. I kind of really doubt it. Yeah, they still look like the old ones. Yeah. They still look like the original ones. Well, if they ain't leaking, if they ain't broken, no need to replace them. Unless they're leaking, but I was never losing tire pressure anyway to begin with, so... but yeah, I was looking at the back tire. I think it was the other one that kept getting punched all the time. That tire got punched twice. That right rear tire. Because I looked inside and it looked like there were 2 patches. Now that was from when the repair shop on the North Dakota side was here. And that was actually ran by these type of people. These brethren people, whatever you call them. Pole climbers, whatever, I don't know. They all got so many different kind of fancy words, you don't even know what to call them anymore. but I think they're called Brotherins, whatever. But they used to run a repair shop. Apparently they still do, but they're only doing trucks now. But they're the ones that did that patch. And because I took the tire to them, obviously, because I wanted to give them a chance to see how they would do. And to be honest with you, they did a pretty fucking damn good job, because that was 5 years ago probably when I stabbed that tire twice yet with a fucking nail twice. So, and that fucker's still holding up. There's nothing even wrong with the patch. It's not even peeling or nothing. I was getting kind of worried about that patch too, that I figured, hey, you know, eventually that patch is going to give too. Hell, I'm not even noticing anything wrong with that patch. So you could still run that tire if you wanted to, but the problem is that there's no, you know, no tread left. Well, the burnouts are what doing it, but I don't do a lot of burnouts anymore. So that was back in my younger days, you know, when I'm still a little reckless on Big Red. It's, you know, hey, you're not going to get shit done unless you're beating on it, so, yeah. But yeah, they just look good, and Big Red just seems to be so much taller now, which I actually like. That's actually a good, I wish it was more level, but that's because the front end's worn out because of the damn plow. But, yeah, it's looking better. I'm liking that. Let's just try not to stab these fucking tires with a nail now, or something stupid like that, because these tires ain't really that cheap. I mean, you're spending well over, well, I don't know. Well, the back tires are more expensive than the fronts, because they're obviously a different size. But for 2 tires, and of course then there's some kind of a fee that they put on too when you order them. So it for 2 front tires, that cost me about 190 bucks roughly. Rears were about 215-ish, but that's because they charge more on the rears than do the fronts. So that's just how they do it. Whatever. Now the only thing left to do is to replace the seat on Big Red, and I probably should replace the rack. This thing here, but on this side, broke. And I don't know if I can fix that or not. I may just have to... This one still works. I might have to replace that rack, which means I'll probably have to take the light bar off. Which is not good news, because that is now hardwired. I didn't put no quick disconnects on it, so I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Big Red kind of just needs a whole new paint job too, but I imagine you really can't fix those paints. You'd have to order, I think, just basically a whole new panel, body panel. I'm not even sure if you can even still find those colors anywhere. They might still have them in stock somewhere on the shelves, but I'm not even sure what color that is. I think that's a sunset red or something, but I'm not really too sure. I don't know what it is, but I like it. That's why I got it. Wasn't really... I would have been happy with a black 4-wheeler too, but I wasn't... I don't know, for some reason this one jumped out at me. You know, this 4-wheeler jumped out at me. Maybe because of the red, I don't know. But I think this was, when I was looking at Big Red, he was showing me some used ones, and he showed me some new ones, and I think this was the first one I actually hopped on for a new one. I suppose that's why I started liking it right away, because, well, it was the first one I hopped on, and it just felt comfortable, so... The only thing I wanted to do was put some brush guards on. Some people don't want me to, but I think it would make Big Red look a little nicer, but I don't know. Definitely would protect the front end and the back end a little bit better. But, whatever. I don't know, you guys tell me what you think. What you think of these tires. Like I said, I'll put the link in the description if I remember. If I didn't remember, let me know. Ask for it. Ask for the link. I'll give you the link then. It won't be a problem. But yeah. They look good though, and coming home today was a pretty smooth ride. So, of course, except when you hit bumps, obviously you'd still feel the bumps, but you know that's normal. But no, there wasn't no wobble or anything like that, or that hop. But that could have been because the rear end was warmed up now. I don't know. I'll have to wait a day or two and I can see how she goes. I probably should actually go to the farm, run this thing to the farm, and give it a good little workout, test these tires out with some snow. What was funny, too, is I'm not even in fucking four-wheel drive. Normally at that corner there, when I come out the garage and I come down this little, I make that turn right there, and I come down here, normally even with four-wheel drive, I still slip. I don't know, for some reason he didn't slip. I don't know if these tires are just digging in so bad that, you know, it's stopping Big Red from sliding. No, I think even with four-wheel drive, I still slip. I think I have it in four-wheel drive. I think I did, because didn't I have it? No, it's off. Four-wheel drive's off. So I can't even fucking remember if I drove down here in two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, but no, it doesn't really matter. Usually I slip on that corner because it's always full of frickin' ice, so I didn't even slip. So I guess these tires are already proven that they're going to be tough tires. I'd love to try these tires in some mud, but these are not really ideal mudding tires. You need, you know, with much deeper tread. But no, I just got these tires because they looked the nicest. They looked like a aggressive tire. I didn't want to go with, you know, big tractor tires or anything stupid like that. I just wanted something that would look good. And these look good. Big Red's original tires looked good too, but you know, they're getting worn out and they're just getting old. They've been on the machine since new. That's almost 10 years, so if I can get at least almost 10 years out of these tires, I'm doing pretty fucking good then. 10 years for a set of tires? It's not bad, as long as you don't stab them. Nobody around here does tire patches anymore, which kind of sucks. I wish they would do it. I don't know if they do it or not. I don't think so. They would actually melt in, you know, a piece of rubber or something, and that would patch the hole. You can still buy, like, the long... They're really super sticky. They're long like a worm. You can still buy those tire patch kits. I have a set, but I'm talking about the ones that actually go inside the tire, and it follows the shape of the tire. That's what's in there. Are those meltable type of patches? And some people say they don't last. I don't know, that one on Big Red lasted a hell of a long time. I'm actually pretty impressed. But they were just getting worn down, so it was time for something new. So, but these look good though. I can't wait to try them in the summertime. I really actually can't wait to try them during plowing. That's going to be pretty good. I don't even know if I'll need the weights. But I have them on there because I'm like to push the tires down into the ground so they're harder to, so they dig in deeper. But anyways, guys, I guess I'm going to take off and do pause for a super long video. I guess let me know what you think of Big Red's new donuts. Looks like the guys did a pretty good job of putting them on. I'm just more worried about how long they're going to last. Like, I don't want them, like, coming apart. You know, like starting to shred apart. Of course, that would be the company's fault for building a defective tire, but I don't know. We'll see. They look good, though. Other than that, they look good. I'm happy with them. 6 o'clock, sounds like. Yeah, usually it's dark by now. Usually it's still daylight. Jumping ahead an hour helps, too. So, but yeah, I like ye. I like ye a lot. Guys did a good job putting them on. No, I can't think of any complaints there because I made it home. They didn't pop off. So anyone I guess needs a tire replaced, just go buy yourself a custom tire. you know, or buy a tire, and I guess let them do it. Of course, you guys don't know the company I'm dealing with, but people around here would know. Of course, that's the only people around here that I think that do it. I think that young kid did say that they've done this kind of stuff before. They just don't work on them. Like, they don't work on suspension or engines or transmissions or anything like that. They don't do that kind of stuff. And they're not, I guess they're not even going to start with that, which is too bad. I wish they kind of would, but I guess they got their hands full with enough crap they're dealing with. I mean, they deal with cars and tractors and stuff, so I imagine they ain't going to want to deal with any more. But, yeah, we don't have a close Polaris dealer anymore. Our closest one is probably at least an hour or two away now. Either way, on either side of the state, either Minnesota or North Dakota. They're at least an hour away, which sucks, but oh well, what can I do about it? But anyways, guys, I guess I'm going to take off. So I guess have a good day and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.